Okay, guys.
We're doing that because Alita's having a problem
I
recording
know.
in Zoom.
Gosh. Mute,
Looks like we're good.
mute. Okay. Gonna have to do something to work on those settings. Okay, you guys. We got people jumping in. We've got muting not working. Lauren's helping me out over here to admit people and mute them. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to be sharing with you guys what I'm going to share this morning, because it is something that literally Alita and I were listening to this thing yesterday, and we're both like, oh my goodness, like this is mind blowing. The things that were being shared, the things that were being said. And so I want you to come into this morning. I think it's really important to set our intentions every time that we go somewhere, every time that we listen to something, every time that we start our day, every time that we walk into our room, every time we do something, we want to set the intention for where we're going to be, what we're doing, the thoughts that we want to have. Because it is very important, because you will see and you will hear and you will get out of it exactly what you're supposed to if you're willing to hear it and see it. So today, I want you guys to think, as we're getting started on this call, I want you to remember and say to yourself, I will get out of this exactly what I need to. So just kind of say that to yourself. I will get out of this exactly what I need to, because different things will pop out to different people. And so it's crazy how that works, right? How we can be in the same room, we can hear the same things, but something will resonate more with one person than it does with another. So just come this morning with an open mind to get out of this exactly what you need to get out of this. And this could be incredibly pivotal for you if you can truly embrace and understand the things that I am going to share this morning. So, you know, we've talked before about reality, right? And how when we live in reality, that it, when we're being realistic, it creates a very limited reality. So I'm going to share with you guys some science things that helps to bring it all together for those of you who are like, and it's not going to be like crazy science either. You're not going to understand it. This is like basic science things, but to help you understand some of the laws of the universe and how, if you can learn to tap into those, you can use what is already here, what is already available to you. You can just tap into that. Okay. And so we tend to see the world from a very limited perspective, right? Because we have this cognitive bias. And we'll say, oh, well, when we talk about like, well, let's be realistic. Well, that's not reality. Let's bring it back to reality, all those different kinds of things. But what you view as reality is different than what somebody else views as reality. And the things that you view as being realistic might not be realistic to somebody else. Okay. So that's why we're going to bring science into this, not like opinion, not the lens that you're looking through. This is going to be like actual factual scientific things. Okay. Because we see the world so limited, but the world is actually abundant. If you look at vibrations, if you look at things, the world is abundant. The universe is abundant and infinite. And when I say universe, I mean the little actual physical world. Okay. And so, even if you look at our cells, you guys, our cells are constantly replicating. You know how we tell people that your cells regenerate on average every, 90 days, so to speak. Well, some take longer, some take less, right? So they even say, every 11 months, like you're actually like a new person, because your cells are replicating so much. So everything in your body is constantly regenerating, reproducing. Your cells are regrowing, all those different kinds of things. You're shedding dead skin, you're creating new skin. Look at it from a very basic scientific perspective. We're in the health industry. We understand how your body changes. We understand your cells change, right? And so, okay, if you were to say, what would have a more clear vision? Would it be me looking through my eyes, or would it be like the camera lens that is on this phone? Well, the camera lens doesn't have a subconscious programming, right? This camera lens is going to see things for what it actually is. It is just going to take a picture of what is there, not the biased filter that we have going on in our brains. It doesn't have this BS belief system that so many of us have that's so limiting, right? It just sees the world for what it is, right? And so we think about the things, we think about the things that we want, right, in life. We think about our goals, we think about our dreams, we think about all of these different things, right? We think about, we think that the things that we want are the big house and the pool and the Lexus and, you know, the dream vacations and all of these different things. We think that's what we actually want. But that is not truly what we want. And we can have all of those things, you guys. Those things, a lot of those things, they have added lots of joy, lots of options, lots of amazing things in my life. I'm not saying to not have those things. I'm saying that's not the only thing that you are actually pursuing, because you will be very disappointed when you get those things if that's all that you're going after. We've talked about this before, how everything that we want or everything that we do is based off of a feeling that we are seeking, right? Or something that we're trying to avoid. But you don't just want a pile of stuff. What you actually want is you want this feeling, being on fire and lit from the inside, that burns with passion and purpose and drive. You want wholeness. That's what we are actually seeking, and that's what we are after. It's not the pile of stuff. It's the energy that we feel burning from the inside out. When someone is on fire in this business and someone is burning with passion, you guys, that is contagious and it is fun, because they are winning and they are enjoying life and they are loving it. Okay. You can always tell the people who are on fire, right? Morgan inspired the heck out of you guys because she is on fire right now. Fire from the inside, right? She has this passion, she has this drive, and it is inspiring everyone around her. Okay. So it's not just the goals. It's not the pile of stuff. You know that you were made for more. You were made to burn with this passion and to seek this wholeness, right? And this wholeness that we want, that we're longing for, right? This lady was talking about how she was at a conference, and this sweet person raised her hand and she said, well, I would just be happy with like 60% of what you're feeling, like 60% of your passion, 60% of your wholeness. I would settle for 60%. And how many of you in your businesses are like, well, I would just settle for this. I would just settle for that. I'd love to just have a fraction of what she's making, right? But why are you willing to tolerate less, right? Why would you be willing to tolerate less? Why would you even settle and say things like that? Like, I only want a fraction of what she's got. I only want a portion of this, right? It's crazy when we actually start to think about that. It's like, we would not go to the doctors, or we would not take these supplements, right? And be like, I hope that I'm just going to feel 60% better, right? I'm really hoping that, if I still have migraines 40% of the day, it's going to be fine. No, we seek that wholeness, right? We want to feel our absolute best, but we are so conditioned to just settle for less than our best. That's why sometimes it's hard for people even to come around and take these supplements, because we're so conditioned to just feel like less than our best. It's like, well, that's just life. That's just reality. That's just reality. You're never going to feel great, right? Look at my mom in her 60s. People are like, well, that's just not actually possible. 60-year-olds don't feel like that. Well, she does, right? So why could you not, right? Instead, some of us are like, well, I'll just settle for half of that. Why? Why would you settle for half of that? Okay. We're willing to tolerate less because either A, we don't remember, or two, we don't even know what it's like to be in a flow state of abundance all the time. Like, do you know that that is actually possible? Any of the feelings or things that you're longing for, the joy, the abundance, you can tap into that flow of abundance anytime. You can channel any emotion that you want to at any time. You can be willing to feel that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that so, so powerful? Okay. So we came into this world, you guys, we came into this world to be creative, right? Creativity is deep inside every single one of you. And some of you can sit here and say, look, well, I'm just not a very creative person. Have you ever been in a preschool or kindergarten classroom and seen a single kid that was not being creative, not playing with Play-Doh, not painting, not doing any of that? No, you have never once seen a child not be creative. Every single child is born creative. But then somewhere along the way, somebody said something to you, or they mocked whatever you made. And then all of a sudden you started to see the world through this filtered lens of, well, it has to be perfect before I can put it out there. And I'm going to rehearse whatever I'm going to say 500 million times before I say it out loud, because I don't want somebody to laugh at me. And it's like, we take that innocence of that creativity that all of us are born with, and we start to lose it. So I want to encourage you guys to tap back in to that creativity and believe that it's there. But that creativity, like we talked about the other week when we were talking about just abundance for scarcity, that creativity comes from wholeness, right? You can't be in, what is it? You can't be in like that fight or flight mode, right? You can't be in this scarcity space where you're fearing for your life, right? Because of your thoughts, and also be creative. That creativity flowed when you didn't have a care in the world and you were just being creative and you were just doing. Right? So some of you have lost that creativity, and you have to tap back into that, and you have to find it. And the amazing thing is, when you start being creative, that creativity begets more creativity, and it keeps flowing, and it's endless, and it's never there. That's why new things are being invented all of the time. Right? There's so many different entrepreneurs, so many different things that are coming because somebody saw a problem and they solved it with their creativity, right? But you have to get out of that fight or flight mode in order to get into creativity. You have to be in wholeness in order for that creativity to happen. It's why we're so passionate about seeking counseling or coaching or self-coaching yourself, right? Through writing stuff out, asking yourself questions, getting curious, because that wholeness and that safety is essential for you to be your most creative self, right? You have to allow space for that. It's why a lot of times people's creative downloads, it will come when they're like in the shower, or it'll come when they're running, or it'll come when they're in the car by themselves, or things like that, because they're not distracted by all of the other things, and they've made space for that creativity. The next $1 million idea that you need to launch your business to the next level is already there. It's just waiting for you to create space in your brain so that you can get the download, right? Like, it's already within you. It's already there. You just have to tap into it. Okay. And so, that wholeness, it's kind of like, in order for creativity to happen, almost think about it, like you have to prime your body for it, right? Like if you were to go paint a wall, you would probably wipe the walls, you would tape it, you would put a primer on it, especially if it was a dark color, and you would do all of these things. You'd set the stuff on the floor, you'd get everything primed and ready to be able to paint. That's kind of like the way that our bodies work. We have to get out of that survival mode, out of that fight or flight mode, and create that space in order to let that creativity happen. Like right now in this day and age, we don't have a saber-toothed tiger that's about to attack us, right? That's not happening. It's not going to attack us. But your brain being scared and fearful, right? It triggers the same release of those cortisol levels, and it makes us feel like we are under attack, right? Just based off of the thoughts that you're having, because you don't feel safe, right? You're very fearful of what's going to happen. You're fearful of what people are going to think. We get scared of all of these different kinds of things. Okay. So your thoughts are generating those cortisol levels, right? And that worry is there. And so you're not enjoying life. You're not enjoying things as much as you could be, because you're in that survival mode. Okay. Which means that you're not enjoying life as much as you could. You're not enjoying yourself as much. You're not in spontaneity because you're just panicking. Okay. And when we are spontaneous and when we do those things, that's where even more creativity happens. Okay. So now you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I like get into that creativity? How do I tap into it? What does that look like? And so a lot of us have heard about the law of attraction, right? But I am going to share with you something that is absolutely mind blowing that takes law of attraction to a different level. Instead of saying law of attraction, right? A more accurate representation of what is actually happening is more like the law of reception. So hang on with me here, okay, guys? Law of attraction says something that I want is over here. It's far away. It's not here where I am, right? It's over there and I'm going to draw it to myself. I'm going to bring it to me. That's law of attraction, okay? I'm going to give you a metaphor of a radio. Okay, think about a radio. It's pretend, say I had a radio right here, right now, right? Another name for that is receiver, right? Okay, so for those of you who are a little bit older than me, even I, grew up with radios, right? We listen to the radio in the car, right? A lot of times we listen to things on our smartphones now, but think about a radio, think about in the car. At any moment, I'm sitting there in the car, I'm tuning in to whatever station that I want, right? So it's also known as a receiver, right? And it's right there with you, right? The receiver is there and you could find any kind of music that you wanted to, right? In the car, you could tune through, you could listen to country, you could listen to pop, you could listen to R&B, you could listen to Spanish music, you could hear sports, talk radio, anything you want to hear. You just have to dial in to that frequency from your receiver and you can listen to it. It's not that the music is out there. It's right here, right where you're at. It's not law of attraction bringing it to you. It's you already have it right here. You are the receiver and all you have to do is dial in and tune in to the correct vibration and it will be there. Is that not like mind blowing and just like releases pressure of that we have to draw all of these things to us? It's already there. It's already within you. It's here. But what frequency are you tuning into on a regular basis? What is the frequency? If you're not liking the results and the things that are happening in your life, chances are you're tuned into a pretty negative frequency. Okay. And so here's another like musical analogy. Okay. We talked about the receiver, and here's the other thing with the receiver, right? Most people experience reality, based on just what they think is there, or rather what they think is not there, or that something's way over there. It's so far away, right? They don't think that it's actually here. But the receiver analogy shows you that it is indeed there. You just are not tuning into it. You're not seeing it. You're not tuning into it. You're not matching that energetic vibration. Okay. So think about, my boys they just started taking guitar lessons. Okay. So think about a guitar. You don't have to know anything about music to understand this. Okay. If you take two different guitars and you have them next to each other, different make, different model, different owners, all the different things. Okay. And you pluck a C string on one guitar. Can anybody tell me what happens on the other guitar? Does anyone know? I didn't know this until yesterday. What happens to the other? Yes, it will vibrate, but not just any chord. The exact same C string that you plucked on guitar A will also vibrate on guitar B. Not all of the strings will vibrate, only the C string will vibrate. You guys, that is the law of resonance. That's meaning that the frequency that you send out will come right back to you. I have never heard that in my entire life. Like, is that not mind blowing, you guys? You pluck a C string over here, this guitar over here only vibrates on the C string. What kind of vibration and energy are you sending out? Because whatever you send out will come right back to you. So are you saying I'm tuned into abundance, or are you tuned into scarcity? Which one is it? What are you telling yourself every single day as you sit down to work? What are you telling yourself as you think about your goals and your dreams? Do they seem like they're so far off in the distance, or do you realize that you can dial in and tune into it at any time that you want to? Right? We all live in this vibrational world, right? Even my sweatshirt right now, if you were to take a microscope to it and you were to look at it, you would see that it's vibrating. Literally, teeny tiny particles are vibrating in here. This wall back here is vibrating. Every single thing in the universe is vibrating. An atom is like 99% energy, 1% particle. Okay, everything is vibrating on a micro scale, right? So those vibrations that you give off are incredibly powerful because they're going to come right back to you. We have the power to take a vibration and we have the power to tune into it, right? So things that were a vibration can then become a thought, which then can actually become a physical thing in this world. We talk about how thoughts create our feelings and feelings create, right, the results. Well, this takes it a step further. The vibrations then create the thoughts, and the thoughts then create the feelings and the reality, right? So that is creativity. You are taking something that was once just a vibration and you are making it a physical thing. That's how powerful this world is, you guys. And we don't even tap into a percentage of what it is. And you will find whatever you believe to be true. And you will limit yourself in what you allow yourself to receive. And you limit what you believe to be possible because of the lens that you choose to see the world through, right? Because of different things that have happened to you. Because of what you believe, your brain will fight tooth and nail to find evidence to prove you correct about anything that you believe in. So if you believe that your goals and your dreams are so far out there, that they're so far away, that the feelings that you are longing for, right? Not the pile of stuff, but the feelings, the passions, the joy that you are longing for, if you feel like it's so far out there, you're never going to reach it. You're never going to get to it. But how would it feel to know that actually every single thing that I am seeking and that I am longing for, every emotion that I want to feel, I can tap into it right here, right now. That's why I put in the chat, if you are just not loving the process of getting to your goals right now, if you're not loving it, you will leave here feeling empowered, because whether or not you're closer to the goal or farther away or whatever it is, right? We have this image, you have the receiver right here. You can tune into whatever feelings that you think those things are going to bring you. You can feel it right now, and you can live in abundance while you dream bigger and pursue your dreams. You can live in abundance. You can live in joy. You can live in passion. You can live in that every single day as you work on your dreams. Every single day you get to live in that because you get to choose that. Okay. You're already here. The only thing that we need to focus on is who we're being to match up to our goals and dreams vibrationally. That is the only thing that you need to work on, right? I'm going to say that again. The only thing we need to focus on is who we're being to match up to it vibrationally. If you are not a match vibrationally for your goals and dreams, you will miss it every single time. It's like, I can't find a builder. I can't find people who want to take the products. I can't do this. I can't do that, because you are not a vibrational match for that. You are sending out a vibration that says, I can't, I can't, I can't. People don't want to, they don't want it, they don't want it. That vibration is coming back to you. Your words matter, your thoughts matter. So what if you sat down and you took 5 minutes before you worked and you started saying, I live in the flow of abundance. I am joyful. I am passionate. I am on fire. I am whole. I live in abundance. I attract abundance, right? All of those things, you will get what your subconscious truly wants and believes. So if you have those limiting beliefs, you are not a vibrational match for your goals. And this is why people are like, this is so stupid to just sit here and think about these things. No, you're literally sending out a vibration to the world that is coming back to you. How crazy is that? That's why your thoughts matter. That's why we talk about visualization. That's why we talk about believing it in your mind first and experiencing it first in your mind before you ever experience it in reality. You're not going to experience something in reality that hasn't already been pictured in your mind, okay? So we just need to focus on being an energetic match for vibrationally what your goals are. And, you know, I've talked about before, I forget when it was probably a few months ago. I talked about how this like aha moment that I had about making space in your brain and making space just in your life for the new things that you want. And this kind of brings it 100% full circle. Okay. So we talked about before how like, if you were to get a new couch for your house, you would not have the other one delivered and have two couches sitting in your living room. Okay, that would be ridiculous. One of them has to go. So the old couch would go so that the new one can come. But so many of you are holding on to those limiting beliefs and you're not clearing space in your head for the new thing. So you have to let go of those limiting beliefs. You have to make space for the things that you want in life, so that you are an energetic match vibrationally. Everything is energy. Even those couches in that room, they're vibrating, they're energy, right? Have you ever taken down your Christmas decorations and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I feel like I have so much space, because every single particle is vibrating. Every particle, your Christmas tree, your lights, your decorations, all those things, everything is energy, you guys. And whatever vibration you're putting out is going to come right back to you, right? Some of you need to Control Alt Delete your programming. You need to spend time reprogramming your brain. Just Control Alt Delete those old thoughts, get them out of there. You start with a blank page and you start being intentional about the life that you want to live. You be intentional around the thoughts that you want to think. Stop being so reactive to everything that comes your way. Set the intentions for your day. Set the intentions for the time with your kids. Set the intentions for the time with your spouse. Set the intentions for the time with your family, with your work, with your business, with your teammates. You get to decide how you want it to happen. But if you believe that you actually have zero control over the outcome, then you're not going to operate in your highest self, because you're sending out that limiting vibration that I have no control over things. There's a lot of things outside of our control in this world, right? But there are also so many things that you can control, right? I mean, it is scientific. Like this is not, I'm just not just talking out my butt, you guys. This is like actual scientific things that you can research, that you can look at. So many times we get caught up in this, like, oh, that's so wooey, that's so whatever. No, it is actual thing if we just take the time to look at it. And here's the other thing I want you to think about. We aren't chasing our dreams. It's not something so far off in the distance. We are welcoming them in. How does that feel for a change? You're not chasing your dreams. You are welcoming them in. You are working on becoming a vibrational match, and you are tuning in on your radio dial, and you are welcoming in your dreams. You have to be willing to receive them. It goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning, how it's not just, like the law of abundance. It's receiving. It's being able to receive those things, right? So yes, with open arms, we want to be willing to receive that. We want to welcome it in, but you cannot welcome it in if you are tuning into the wrong dial, if you are not a vibrational match for what it is. So everything that you are longing and seeking, that you think that you're going to feel and have when you reach your goals, you can feel right here, right now. Every single one of those things, you're not missing anything. It is there. It is within you. You just have to be willing to tap into it, because you guys, those mountaintop moments that you experience for a brief second, they're here and then they're gone. And then it's on to the next thing. You have to be able to feel joy and abundance and passion along the way, or you're going to hit every single one of your goals and you're going to be miserable. You might be excited for 24 hours, maybe even a week, maybe even a month, and then it starts to fade away. You have to be able to feel those feelings that you think you're going to get when you hit that goal. Feel it right now. And I promise you, you will hit those goals faster. I'm not saying you have to choose either or, it's both and. You get to have both of it, but you get to experience that joy before you reach it, which makes the journey even better. So that's what I got for you guys today. I love you all. Go drop some of your aha moments in the Mountain Movers chat, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.